Since the beginning of time, humans have been enthralled by the mystical creatures known as fairies. These ethereal beings, often depicted as small and delicate with gossamer wings, have captivated the imaginations of people across cultures and centuries. In myth and legend, fairies are often described as beings who possess otherworldly beauty and magical powers, making them both revered and feared by humans. The origins of fairies can be traced back to ancient civilizations such as the Greeks, Romans and Celts, who all had stories and beliefs about these creatures. The Greeks had nymphs, beautiful female spirits who inhabited the natural world, and the Romans had their own version known as the Lares, who were believed to protect households and families. But it was the Celts who had the strongest connection to fairies, viewing them as powerful beings who could bring blessings or curses upon humans. In Celtic mythology, fairies were known as the Tuatha Dé Danann, a race of godlike beings who arrived in Ireland from the other world and ruled over it. They were described as tall and regal, with a shimmering aura that set them apart from mere mortals. These fairies were believed to have control over nature, able to manipulate the weather and create bountiful harvests. They were also skilled in magic, able to create illusions and cast spells. However, they were not always kind, and humans who crossed them would often face their wrath. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the beliefs about fairies began to shift. They were viewed as demonic, and their magical abilities were seen as the work of the devil. Stories of fairies kidnapping children or luring people into the other world became prevalent, and they were no longer perceived as benevolent beings. During this time, fairies were often associated with witchcraft and were feared and shunned by society. Despite the fear surrounding them, tales of fairies continue to be passed down through oral tradition, with each culture adapting and adding their own unique twists to the stories. In Ireland, fairies were believed to live in mounds or fairy forts, and were known to be skilled musicians, playing soft and enchanting music under the moonlight. In Scotland, fairies were often seen as protectors of nature, and were said to live in the forests and glens, guarding the trees and animals. One of the most famous tales of fairies comes from the English playwright William Shakespeare. In his play A Midsummer Night's Dream, he introduces the character of Puck, a mischievous fairy who causes chaos and confusion among the human characters. Puck is representative of the trickster nature often associated with fairies, as they were known to play pranks on unsuspecting humans. In the 19th century, the Romantic movement revived an interest in fairy tales and mythology, and writers and artists began to incorporate fairies into their works. This led to the creation of some of the most iconic fairy characters, such as Tinkerbell from J. Miller's Barry's Peter Pan, and the fairy godmother from the classic tale of Cinderella. Today, fairies continue to hold a special place in popular culture, with books, movies, and television shows featuring these enchanting beings. The main theme remains that fairies are creatures deeply connected to nature and possess magical abilities. However, the portrayal of fairies has evolved to show them as complex and multidimensional characters, capable of both good and evil. The enduring appeal of fairies can be attributed to their ability to tap into our desire for a world beyond our own, a realm of magic and wonder. They represent our connection to nature and our longing for a simpler time before the complexities of modern society. Whether we see them as benevolent beings or malicious tricksters, we cannot deny the fascination and allure of these mystical creatures that continue to capture our imagination. The stories of fairies may have originated in ancient myths, but their presence in our lives will always remain a timeless and cherished tale.